Okay, remember that they are changing my voice. Now, when it comes to expenses over the years, I've had to spend a lot more money than I otherwise would have. I do not drink or smoke, but when I go grocery shopping it's for the family. I live with my family, my parents, my brother, and other people come here sometimes, what have you. That I bought some alcohol for my brother and some cigars. Okay, things of that nature. But it's not for me. So on the off chance, people at Morgan Hill who see me buying these things, they can know that that's the case. Okay, I don't drink or smoke. And I don't try to hang out with people that do and do those things. I don't do that at all. Now, I've been buying various bottles of water instead of buying a big jug of water. When I first started buying water myself, right, I'd go to the water store, bought big jugs, okay, and I filled them with water. And over time, the government was doing something funny. Now, this is interesting, right? It's in, basically, from what I gather, it's in all the products, right? All the products have some kind of nanoparticles, some kind of, maybe it's the fumes in the air, I don't know, but they do something in a way that makes it come off like all the products are poisoned. Okay, and I've gotten stuff from fast food restaurants before where there's definitively some kind of poison fume coming from it. Okay, and I've had to throw it away real quickly. Okay, and that makes it so I had to spend more money on food. Now, I'm not saying this because I want money or something. I don't want money. I don't want any kind of, well, let me rewind here. I want people to support me, absolutely. But I don't want some kind of money just for me, just to survive. I've lived a life that's longer than a lot of ancient Egyptians, and I'm ready to die at any time. Okay? I have no problem with that. Not some kind of suicidal person, not depressed, not mentally ill. It's clear that when duty calls and when it's time to die, if the situation is sound and it's not some kind of mental illness-like situation, if the principles line up, at that time, I will die, one way or another. Whether I'm killed, whether I'm being tortured and I have to kill myself, or whatever the situation. Again, remember, I have 23 witnesses on record. The people who work for the state are mentally ill and not me. If they were not, they would have responded to my report when I said 23 people, witnesses on record to their racial harassment campaign against me, where I'm being fumed and poisoned. 23 witnesses, including witnesses to the fumes and poisons. They did not respond. They can't then turn around and say, this guy's suicidal or something. I'm sure we can all agree on that. And I have had the presence of mind to record those witnesses. Okay. With that being said, so I ended up buying the water bottles, and it cost me like freaking $10, $15 more than buying it in water jugs for like $1.59 at the store, or $1.49 or whatever, $1.99, whatever those bigger water bottles cost. Okay. When I buy the bigger water bottles, it is not for me, for my family, because the state won't let me use them. But for whatever reason at this point, maybe it wasn't that way back in 2015 or so, whenever it was when I did the video where I showed that somebody identified the drinks as being drugged. That these are drinks from the store that haven't been opened yet. I don't know how to, reseal a drink or something. I don't know how to do it. So, it's kind of soda, what have you. They identified the ones that were drugged and correctly described the symptoms I was having when they drank it. Okay. Since then, they seem to have stepped their game up. Maybe they had the technology back then and they were just experimenting with different angles, trying to confuse me. I don't know. But we see that people here are able to, for the most part, drink and eat the food that I can't eat. But every once in a while, they act shady and they don't eat it, and there's no clear explanation why. Maybe they released the substances in it. Maybe they drugged it. I don't know. The people from the outside. But that's the case there. So then there's the buying juice. So I can't drink the water. I can only use the water to brush my teeth, because where I live, the water is not something you can use to brush your teeth. It's a long story why that is. And to some degree, I don't know all the reason why that is. I know the water here, despite filters, Berkey filters, all that stuff, it doesn't help, that it's not good for brushing your teeth with. Okay. And so again, this shows you the state that the world has Christ living in for many years. His dad is a brain surgeon, his mother's a doctor too. And that's me, right? Christ, me, right? Okay. So there's the juices instead of waters. I probably would have just limited to just drinking water to save money more effectively. Okay. So any given year, I'm probably spending, upwards of $10,000 more than I would. And for between that and flat tires that they cause and stuff like this, it costs me more money than other people. So the last 10 years, I probably would have another $100,000 if it wasn't for that. And that's part of their sabotage, part of their trying to cheat me in regards to my top martial arts challenge as well. And again, you look back at my timeline, I'm very proud. I'm very glad that I lived my life this way, and I'm not Bezos or Musk or some president or politician or some celebrity, rapper, athlete, you name it. Some person in the church. I'm very glad that I chose righteousness. Okay, when you look at the path of the righteous like the morning sun shining ever brighter to the full light of the day. The path of everyone else, all who cheat me out of my right to lead, is deep darkness, and they know not what makes them stumble, and they should be very, 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 very ashamed of themselves. No offense to anyone, but this has to be said, and this can be a guiding principle that can take them out of their dark state and into the light before my flesh dies and it's too late. People need to understand these things. Okay, when I was in town and I'm wearing clothes with holes in it, I have clothes. I have a video where I donated brand new clothes that I couldn't wear, and it was like $300 worth of clothes or something, a bunch of hoodies, sweaters, bunch of jeans, bunch of clothes that my people send me clothes, right, from my family, right? Because I had to tell my family about it and to explain why I have holes in my clothes, instead of wearing these other clothes I have. And so, they spent quite a bit of money, maybe as much as $1,000, $500, $600, $700, whatever, on clothes that I couldn't wear. And I ended up donating a lot. I ended up giving a lot to my older brother. And that's that, right? I'm buying clothes myself all over the place in Gilroy and San Jose, and it never fails. One time I went to, Burlington Coat Factory in Gilroy, and it was probably the worst fuming I've ever experienced, perhaps anywhere, but certainly at his store. And people in there were like looking very and very, very troubled, right? They were ordered to play stupid and to stand in that store. There were children in that store. And someone was like, "You're right, get out now." Yep. And it's fucking sick that they treat people this way for no reason at all. There is no logical reason. I've been over it many times. They're just sadistic, and they just see themselves as Satanists who are persecuting God's son, and that's the main reason I'm targeted. They know that no one thinks that they're ideal or the top martial artist or the actual valid line of Christ, what have you. They're just sadistic. So anyway, I'm running out of time in this video, so really quickly, that's caused me to wear shoes that were messed up because, they messed up the way I walk big time. They've changed my shape. Okay, they kept me from doing martial arts. I'm limited to doing basic workouts. So my body seems to be shaped more and more like, almost like a military person, but you can tell the difference. It's distinctly different. You can tell I've been sabotaged. You can tell I've been poisoned, especially if you see my older pictures. Okay, and over a long period of time. It caused me to have to wear funny glasses and so on and so forth. And I can't find lenses anywhere that suit me. So I had to kind of use the same lens in a different frame of glasses, which makes so I look weird and makes it, so everyone on this planet sinks lower while they snicker and have sex with kids and so on and so forth. It's a really, really sad situation. And, it affects my overall appearance. Okay, they've done things to make it so I look weird and have red on my lips when I don't drink the juice yet, and there's no explanation for it.